Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of RISEUP Sparks. My name is Krista Fee, and I am here to talk to you about building an unshakable foundation for the relationship that you have always dreamed about. So, our topic today is friendship and how friendship is fundamental and ultimately the foundation, cornerstone of building a relationship. And if you do not have a rock solid friendship throughout the entire course of your relationship, then your relationship is very unlikely to survive. And we all have heard the statistics that over 50% of marriages end in divorce. Well, Gottman Institute actually did some really significant research watching couples and trying to determine what things couples that made it long term had in common and what things couples who didn't make it had in common. And one thing became very clear in this research study, that the couples that survive actually fight just as much or more than couples who didn't survive. They say mean things to each other. They do all the wrong things. Like, they're not expert communicators. They don't have all the tools in place. They're not perfect in regards to all the tools and resources that we teach you in the couples programs to be a better partner. The one underlying thing that all the couples had in common that survived was an ability to see each other with unconditional positive regard. And what that means is that the positive feelings, the positive way of looking at your partner overrides any anger or frustration or challenges that you might be facing. So when you face a challenge with your partner, you still see them as someone that you enjoy spending time with, someone that you have a bunch in common with, someone that you want to have a conversation with. You are filled with positive feelings about that person. And many of you are in relationships where you started the relationship as love partners, as intimate partners, but not as friends. And you never took the time to build that friendship up underneath the romantic relationship that evolved. So you're missing a key and significant piece of building a future together. So what can you do about it if you're in this position where you're married to someone who isn't really your best friend, who you don't really thirst to spend time with, who you're not overjoyed to come home to, who you don't want to get on the phone and chat with them about the thing that just happened to you, whether it is a really beautiful, exciting thing or whether it is a really bad day that you've had. You don't lean on them with those things. You don't tell them everything the way that you do a friend. What do? Well, you build that friendship. You have to start at the beginning, get to know each other, figure out what makes each other tick, discover all the nuance and the secrets and the quirkiness of your person's personality. Be real with your partner. Get vulnerable with your partner. Allow yourself to be seen and to see them. And you might find that you discover a whole new layer of intimacy in your relationship that you didn't know existed, that you didn't know could be there, that elevates your passion and your pleasure and your joy and your growth with your partner in ways that you didn't even expect. And from personal experience, this is what happened with my husband and I. We had been together for a very long time, and we were married and we were doing all the things, and we had a great relationship, but we did not have the relationship that we have now. And the relationship that we have now is built on that friendship, that level of complete and absolute, I tell you everything because I love telling you everything because I can't wait to talk to you, because I'm very excited to share with you my life and my interests and my successes and my failures and my thoughts. And let's talk through the challenges together. Let's do all of these things together and create something beautiful. And that's what we have now. And so many of the couples that I see are dancing around the edge of, I don't understand why I just don't feel completely connected to my partner. I don't understand why the feelings of love are fading away. They're drifting. And every time I get angry, I get more and more resentful. And every time he doesn't do what I think he should do, or every time she doesn't say what I think she should say, or every time my partner doesn't support me when I didn't even ask them to be present and I expected them to read my mind. And if they knew me, they would completely have done that without my asking. And I just don't understand. And we're just not that close. And all of the things that go round and round and round every single session, it's all founded in forgetting friendship first. So if you're struggling in a relationship and you're challenged to connect and you're feeling like the intimacy and the romance and the passion is just not there, and you're just not emotionally connected in a way that lets you express yourself physically anymore, and you don't feel like your partner knows you, and you don't feel like your partner understands you, and you feel lost and alone, and you're in a relationship but you still feel lonely, and you're exhausted from all the fighting, and you just can't figure out how to build that rock solid foundation of friendship, how to communicate in a way that makes you both be heard and allows you to have conversations that actually solve problems. And another fun little interesting fact about relationships and communication, and many times the conversations we're having, the problems that we're trying to solve in relationship are just disagreements in priorities and just disagreements in ways of thinking and feeling. And most of those things in relationship do not actually need to be solved. They don't actually need to be fixed. What needs to happen is you guys need to see each other and accept each other fully as human beings, individual and apart from each other, as well as in relationships, so that when those disagreements come, you cannot be offended that your partner doesn't think the same way you do. And you can actually see them as your friend and see how those differences that you guys naturally will have are actually a benefit and not a deficit to your relationship. So all of these different interplays that feel so heavy and feel so burdensome and feel so tragic really can be minimized when the way that you see each other changes, the way that you feel about each other changes, and the way that you guys interact together changes, because you're more friends. You're focused on the friendship more than you're focused on the stress and pressure of relationship and whatever definitions you've placed on what relationship means and what that's supposed to look like to you. When you guys go back to the basics and become best friends again, all of the hard stuff becomes much easier. And of course, there's tons of different tools and resources. There are tons of different ways that we can learn to communicate better. There's tons of different things that we can apply. But none of that is long-term effective unless and until you can actually become friends and see your partner as a friend. So just food for thought from Rise Up Relationship Reset. Again, my name is Krista Fee. It was so amazing to see you today, and I can't wait to bring you another Rise Up Sparks, little bits of big information that you can take immediate action on to transform your life and live with hope, healing, and happiness.